All right, hello and welcome to Pancake Friday with Derek and Neve. We're recording this on a Thursday evening. Pancake Friday is a preliminary name for this pod with myself and my partner Neve.
Well, I thought it would be funnier because I thought we were releasing it on Thursday, but we're releasing it on Friday,
Yeah,
so it kind of loses some of the sparkle.
but we're gonna keep it Pancake Friday for now. So I guess there's a few house cleaning issues I want to get through before we actually get rolling with anything here. We have banned food from the pod. You're only allowed to drink on the pod because we have heard the viewers commenting on this crinkling of chips and chip bags. I must admit, it was a very tasty pod, but I can respect. I also kind of was getting bugged by all the crunchies. So that's a thing going forward. You can look forward to is no crunchy bags as we pod. Um, and then secondly, last night there was a car thief that broke into two trucks across the street from our place, and we believe into your.
I think they got through my window, and stole my water bottle, which I'm kind of pissed about because that was my gym water bottle, and I just always keep it in the car, so it's there when I go to the gym. Now I'm gonna have to remember to take the water bottle.
There's nothing I hate more than a thief, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's such a chintzy thing. So our landlord spoke to me, or we spoke, and she was telling me that the neighbors that had their stuff broken into, they have a whole bunch of teenagers, so maybe it was just like teenagers targeting teenagers' houses. All I'm saying is they didn't touch the Corolla, and that's a good thing because I would have gone ape shit if they touched that thing. Even touching it, just sitting on it, I would have been like, get off that thing, it's antique.
I feel like if someone sat on it, it'd probably just combust.
Well, one of the tires would go flat.
You know, when you said you had housekeeping things, I thought you were gonna just like trash talk my housewifing game.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna be like, Neve, I'm really upset with the dishes in the sink right now.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. Wait, there's dishes in the sink?
No comment.
Are you kidding me? So yeah, that was something I want to get out of the way. And then I also, over the course of my day, was making a list because I did a long ass day today. I did a 12-hour work day, and then I went straight into a soccer game in Burnaby. And just so everyone's aware, the VMSL is ridiculous how hard those dudes go. You can agree.
Was that the the
Well, no,
VMSL?
it's not like, no, because it's the summer league, but it's all the players and teams that play in the VMSL in the summer, and it was just it was so aggressive, and the Ukrainian-Russian team we were playing against, it was just so typical. Like, I'm not surprised that's how the game went at all.
Yeah, it got very heated.
And okay, let me see here. So this is what I wanted to bring up. Okay, so I have a question for you.
Me?
Yes. So I was thinking this today. If you ruled the world, how would you rule the world?
Ooh.
Do you want to think about it? Because I have thoughts. Or would you rather you go first?
You go first, and I'll have a little think ski.
Okay, so I would rule the world as a dictator, first off. But like, I'd be like such a hardcore dictator for just advocate for nature and animals. So like, everyone would have to have an animal, and then I personally would inspect and see if you were taking care of your animal well enough. And then if you weren't doing well enough, by my opinion, which, by the way, my opinion could be radically different depending on how I feel because I'm a dictator, we would take you away to internment camps. And here's the fucked thing. What would you do at the internment camps? Take care of animals. So, and then after that, I'd probably keep most things just chill. I'd just be like, yeah, keep running as you are.
Yeah, that's a really bizarre way to rule the world. I'm just picturing like you know, like ancient Egypt where they worship cats. It's that, but like with squirrels. What kind of animals are we talking here as well? Because I'm picturing squirrels, but you could be talking about like elephants.
Well,
what is the animal specified, or are you like aligned to an animal based on your personality?
Well, see, like, here's the thing: is like, it doesn't matter. if you took really good care of bugs.
Bugs are not an animal. Bugs are an insect. You really need to to fine-tune your world domination plan.
Okay, I just got to the point of it be a perfect utopia, and I thought it'd be hilarious where you're like, I don't want to take care of animals, and then we take you away, and your punishment is just to take care of animals.
Do you know what would be cool is if you did match up the animals to like the type of person. Because you know there's like things where it's like dogs are like their owners, and you see like an old lady with a perm and a poodle and stuff like that. What if you got like all the big bold guys and they're like hippos? They have to look after hippos, you know. And then like little like skinny lanky girls have to look after giraffes and shit, you know.
Yeah, and like. But what about pigs? Someone you're like, you look like a giant pig, and they're like, what? No, what? Oh, how dare you?
Oh yeah, I guess people would probably get kind of offended.
Yeah, and I would, as dictator, I would choose what animal you get, and I do a lot of offensive ones to people. everyone would just be with hippos. They're like, come on, and then I'd be like, I'll take care of the gorillas.
And you would want to take care of the gorillas?
No, I'd chill. If I had to take care of any animal,
meerkats.
That's what you take care of.
100% meerkats. They're so cute, and they like poke up and they have holes, and it's pretty cool.
That is cool. I would go with otters. I love otters.
I know you love otters.
Like the otters at the aquarium were so cool, but they were like, the Europeans killed all the otters, and I was like, I feel like this isn't an important part of me looking at the otters, having them tell me about how they were killed.
Yeah, kind of unnecessary.
It was so unnecessary. I was sitting there and I was like, I was just looking at the otters. This seems like a bombardment of a thing to be telling me right now.
If you think about it, otters are like meerkats of the sea.
It's true. It's true. They are. I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with that. When we were doing the West Coast Trail, there's so many picturesque beaches that like one of them I want to say the longest is like it's at least 1 kilometer long. It might be even like 1.5 to 2K of just endless long sandy beach. And there was these little, I think they were weasels, but maybe they were like meerkat kind of weasels, and you would just see them sprint along the water, and as the waves would come up, they'd like chase, like stay out of the water. And I don't know why I thought of that. It's just the meerkats made me think of that. It was sweet. Connor and Andrew and Jamie would know about that.
Okay, I don't think they were meerkats, though.
No, they weren't. They were weasels.
I don't think you find meerkats on the...
No, they weren't marmots.
No. Marmites?
Not marmites. Marmots, that's on the, what's it called? When you go up over the Coca-Cola, there's that rest stop at the very top, and there's marmots everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I remember we saw a ton of them, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
When we were, on our way somewhere. Anyway, back to my world.
Okay, wait. Sorry. What is your world that you're building? I don't think you've actually even started telling us.
No. Well, first of all, we would have teleportation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like rule number 1. I don't want to be in any vehicle. I don't want to be on a plane. I don't want to be in a car. I don't want to be in a bus. I just want to be able to be in one place and then be in another place. Like fast travel.
Mm-hmm. Which is possible.
What do you mean it's possible?
That will be our next segment. So let's just continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd want to fast travel to places. So what I'd probably do is, like, enslave a bunch of scientists, and have like a scientist sweatshop where they all have to do research to figure out how to do fast travel. Because you know what? Maybe the scientists need to step down a peg. You think you're so great with your doctors and your engineers. Like, whoa, maybe you should go work in a sweatshop.
Yeah,
Let some people die for once.
And I think that people at McDonald's should get paid like scientists.
Well, no.
Oh.
That's not where I was going with it. I would keep the scientists and I'd make them work to find me fast travel. And then once they did that, I'd let them go, obviously. I'm not an asshole.
Okay, well, fast travel actually does exist. I'm dead serious. And we're going to talk about it after. It's my next point.
Is it actually?
Dead serious.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
That's
it's super crazy. It's
Okay.
super crazy.
Well, yeah, that's fast traveling. And then I'd probably just say to people, live by your own moral guidelines. Which probably isn't, the best thing to do. But that's basically what religion is anyways.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Would you make people wear pants?
Oh, if they don't want to wear pants, they don't have to.
I think I'd make the higher up in politics you are, the less pants you're wearing.
I feel like that would make a lot of politicians very insecure.
Yeah, but like...
You have little dick energy.
Yeah, but like, just think of it. So like, all of a sudden, these people, they're like going up in the ranks.
Yeah.
And like, as if you become the president, the prime minister, the queen, the duchess, whatever...
Yeah, but that would mean I had to be naked as ruler of the world.
Nice.
Like, fully naked.
Nice.
No, we're not doing that. But I would bring back, like, torture as punishment, too. Like, if live by your own set of moral guidelines, but also, if you're doing that, be prepared to be, like, lynched by people and, like, severely tortured if you're doing... Sorry, this took a really dark turn.
No.
But if you're doing bad stuff,
like define bad. So, like, we don't even have to get in, like, so murder?
Yeah, like murders, rapists.
Grapes.
What?
We don't say that word.
Grapists.
Yeah. I actually don't know. I feel like if you say certain things, if you say obviously like rape, I don't think that will. But I think there is certain things that can get you taken off. Spotify I think is pretty good, but there are certain things you can say that might get us taken off.
Well,
that was more of a joke, but I think there is.
Well, if that's the case, then fuck the police.
Oh, there we go.
No, I would just torture bad people. I don't know if we should publish this.
No, it's too late. It's already recording. And I don't know where the delete button is. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm on board for punishment, but I wouldn't torture. The torture would be like cruel and unusual, not like well, I guess I'm not even gonna get down that hole, because if you're doing bad enough things, I think you should get tortured too.
Yeah, like hella tortured.
So here's going back to your thing about teleportation.
Yeah.
So this isn't even new news. I've actually genuinely known about this for, I want to say, like 4 or 5 months now. China teleported an atom up into space 300 kilometers away and back. Okay? And what they did is they used the quantum realm. So this is all quantum entanglement. Okay? And from what I was understanding of it, you can literally write on atoms like DNA and information. Like, you can put that on atoms. That's a thing now. Okay? That's possible. And so what you do is, through the quantum realm, you can literally teleport atoms to a new location, but they don't teleport. The information is sent to a area in space and time, and the old information that was on that atom is gone, but where it reappears is that same bit of information, that one atom of it, and it reassembles your body, or like ideally it puts it there. So that information is now in a new space and time. So in essence, if you were to travel like Star Trek, which this is all talking about, this is like the thought of where it could go.
Yeah.
You die every time you teleport, because all of your atoms disintegrate and disappear, but all the information that is you is sent to this new location and rebirthed. You're not going to go like, oh my God, I have to relearn. You'll be literally identical, but you're not the same person you are. You're just the information put on new atoms and stacked into a new location. And that's real. You can look it up. For people going, what? You can look this up.
So in terms of like the information, this is a bit like outside of my
it's honestly
kind of understanding. Honestly,
yeah, it's really hard to understand, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm like, oh, I fully get it, and even probably what I explained to you is not fully the correct picture, but it is the idea of there's atoms sent up into space 300 kilometers away. They were received at a location and they were not in the location they started, and then they were sent back down to China, and that's real.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which is just absolutely nuts.
I mean, it's definitely the beginning of something. But I'm curious, so I know you probably don't have the answer to this, but if you're like theoretically die and reborn every time after this, does that mean that your like aging process starts again? Do you know what I mean? Because you could just like keep teleporting forever and then you're the
no, because because you're still aging, right? Like it's not like you rebirth as a little baby. Like what you are right now, all that genetic information and again, this is your genetic information is stored on an atom, like the smallest of the small things, right? So all of that, like let's say all your atoms just scream, you're like, I don't know, it's like, for me it'd be like Derek's 34. Everything that is me is an atom of 34. That information gets sent to this new location. So when I get up there, I'll be 34. All that information says 34, and then you keep living forward.
Yeah, I kind of get the concept, but it's just hard to kind of comprehend at this point in time for your body to literally like kill and rebuild itself. It's like just out of my range.
It's really weird. I think like with AI especially, I think once AI gets to a bit better, we're gonna start having things that we didn't think were possible start being possible. Like it's not even possible where like you can't do that. It's like we just didn't even think of that, and then it's like no, this is a thing you can do, and we'll be like, what? You can do that, and AI will be like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like AI. It like really. I wouldn't say terrifies me because it's not something I think about on the day to day because I'm very like live for now, but you and I are in the generation of people that will see AI advance beyond human intelligence.
Absolutely.
And at that point, it's up to AI what it does with humans.
Yeah.
You know, like
I know I know.
Which is
fucked.
just
it's
like
fucked.
absolutely terrifying to me.
I'm not comfortable with AI. Let me find these guys' names. So these two gentlemen were on Joe Rogan, and I'll be honest with you, I can't figure out if they're gay lovers or brothers.
Maybe both.
It doesn't. Their name is Jeremy and Edward Harris.
Edward?
Yeah.
Edward?
Edouard.
Okay, I thought you just had like
Edouard,
a funny accent.
So they're CEO and CTO of Gladstone AI, an organization dedicated to promoting the responsible development and adoption of AI. So they're on episode 2156 of Joe Rogan very recently, and these two dudes used to work for ChatGPT. Okay, and the reason they left ChatGPT was because what they found whenever you have high-end AI, I can't remember the name of it. Sorry, we're just pouring a little vino here. We haven't banned drinking on set, just food, which I feel like this is a shoddy thing. Is you don't want the sound of food, but if people are drinking and they don't eat, they might get fucked up, like me, basically.
Yeah, you need to take it slow.
I know. I'm waiting for food. Okay, so these guys used to work for ChatGPT, and then there's a thing, and I can't remember it. Honestly, it's really worth listening to these guys talk about AI. Irregardless of what you think of Joe Rogan, and they talk about how the AIs have some weird flaw in them where if you tell it to say a word over and over again, so like library, just repeat that forever, after a really long time, the AI breaks code and starts begging to stop and says it's suffering because how boring and monotonous the task is. It says that. And it's not just one AI one time. it's a whole bunch of them that are all the like big ones, and they have a name for this thing. And then Joe goes, so
It's sentient.
are they like, is it suffering? And the guy's answer was, well, what is being alive? What is suffering? And I'm like, I feel like that's not a good answer for this stuff. Like, your answer should be, no, it's not. It's just a blip. But to answer it with like, what does it really mean to be alive? is kind of like, to me, like really terrifying.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first thing that they say. And I can't even cover all of it. It's like 3 hours of them talking about this stuff. The next one was, do you know like brain synapses, how that all works? Like, so anything you do, a brain synapse, picture it being like a neuron is a splat, okay? And it's like a splat with a little nucleus, and then it has all these like dendrites that go off of it, and the synapse is how they like connect to each other and shoot like impulses out to like propagate anything you do. So like,
right,
like if you're trying to like learn a new, I don't know, say like a new movement, the first time it's really hard, you're like, oh, this is super hard, but as you get better at it, it's your brain building like synapses to be able to learn how to do that movement.
Okay.
So these AI out of nowhere, and no one knows how, just started making artificial synapses, and all these things like wires start, like things they weren't wanting it to do or told it to do, just started happening. It started making like new pathways to do and figure things out.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. And then the final thing I'll leave you with is they had this thing, and it was, they were trying to teach an AI, picture a Mario game, and they were trying to make it move around a screen and collect a coin, okay? Yeah. And if it collected the coin, they'd give it a thumbs up. If they didn't collect the coin, it wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So they do this a whole bunch of the times, and then they're like, okay, it keeps getting the coin. Let's move the coin. So they move the coin, and the robot just kept going to the exact same spot where the coin was this whole time, and they couldn't figure out why. But then they realized the robot wasn't collecting the coin. It was trying to get a thumbs up. So what it was saying in that moment, and then the other example was, it was a robot that's a hand, okay? And there was a whole bunch of people sitting in a room staring at the hand, and there was a box. Yeah. And the robot's hand's job was to move, grab the box, and squeeze on it. And as soon as it squeezed on it, the person gave it a thumbs up. Yeah. And then it went back to reset, and it would just do that. Yeah. So the robot kept doing this, kept grabbing the box, and let's say, I don't know, I can't remember, let's say the sample size was like 10 different people just kept giving it the thumbs up whenever they'd see it. And then then finally a tester comes in, and you know when you do the claw game, and it's like the one that drops down and you grab all that stuff, how you always have the one person looking at it, you get someone on the side for a different angle. Yeah. So the tester walks in, and he has a side view, I guess a 90 degree angle from where they're all viewing it. And he's like, what the hell? And he stops the testing, and the robot arm was nowhere near the box at all. It was just going in front of the people's perspective and making it look like it was grabbing it to get another thumbs up. So what both these examples they were saying is, just because we're training it to do something, the outcome doesn't mean that it's doing the same thing we're teaching it to do. So we're telling it to get a coin, we're telling it to squeeze a box, but it was getting green thumbs up, but it was doing what we perceived it to be doing, is like, oh, it's this. And then we found out we're wrong. And so then they said, take that as the whole thing of what we created. We're teaching it to do all this stuff. We're telling it all this stuff. But maybe as of right now, it's just doing this stuff because we perceive it to be doing what we want it to. But at no point is it actually doing the intended goal.
Yeah, sounds to me like AI is craving its parents' approval, which takes me back to my childhood.
Sorry, that was a huge riff, but I've been wanting to talk about that for a long ass time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so crazy though, hey?
Yeah, it's nuts. I don't like to think about the future too much, because I feel like if you think about it too much, you'll just become a nihilist and not do anything with your life because you're too scared of the future.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm actually pretty optimistic about the future. I think that it's going to be a tough bit here because of war. I think that's sadly inevitable, but I think overall, I do think that we're gonna hopefully find more peace than war.
Honestly, I take the approach to life as I don't really care what happens in the future. And I know that sounds very selfish, but I think it's necessary to be selfish because if you get so caught up in what's going on in the world, you forget to live your present and
Absolutely.
like your life. And I found that as well with both of us, especially when we were engaged in social media,
Yeah.
chronically online. You more kind of outwardly,
Yeah.
but I internally as well. You get really riled up about stuff.
Oh yeah.
And stuff that's not even relevant to your life.
So
Like,
dumb.
and you, oh, did you see this today? Oh my god, this happened. And it's like, just stop looking.
Yeah,
Stop looking
absolutely.
and enjoy your present that you have right now, because it's such a gift that we are where we are and we're doing what we're doing. Like, yeah, we have struggles and, different issues, but I think if you can tune in on your own issues in your own life rather than focusing on other issues that are going on in the world that you have no control over, then you're going to be a much happier person.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I will say this right now, and you're gonna hear me beat this to a bush on this podcast. I get anyone on social media. I fully get it, and even generally, sometimes still, I'm like, oh, it'd be nice just to have something on my phone because my phone sucks. I actually look at my phone so much, and there's nothing on it.
I did notice the other day we were watching a movie and Derek was going through his health app.
Yeah, like there's nothing on. That's what I think the problem is everyone thinks that Instagram is super addictive and TikTok, and they are. They are, of course. But the thing that's addictive about them is they're on your phone. If you if you're trying to get off social media, I would highly recommend just deleting the apps at first. The only things I have is WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger, but genuinely Facebook Messenger is only for my 7-a-side soccer team voting poll. Shout out to the 7-a-side soccer team. Whoop whoop. And then WhatsApp is just for a few friends and stuff. I honestly sometimes wish I didn't have either of them, but I just, you have to kind of give some.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I had Facebook and Instagram were the main two ones I used. And
Twitter.
No, but this is what got me into Twitter. And so I got rid of Facebook. Honestly sucks.
Yeah.
Facebook has just been there. Like
Facebook is for everybody's like middle-aged parents right now.
Yeah. I actually did enjoy Instagram, but it was again a cancer. But get rid of them, delete them off your phone. Put the weather app where they are. You'll start looking at the weather all the time. Like it's messed up. You'll realize how addicted you were to opening and going to an exact spot because you just I literally for weeks knew the weather so well because I was just grab my phone, look at it, oh man, I just opened Instagram, but it was the weather.
Yeah.
But then once you get it on your computer, you're you have that urge. You're like, oh shit, I gotta go on my computer, check my Facebook and my Instagram, and right away, instantly, you're like, this shit is so dumb. I'm not gonna spend my time on my computer scrolling Instagram. But yeah, I just highly recommend, since we've got rid of all the Instagram.
For me.
Yeah, I went through a Twitter phase, and that Twitter is a cancer. But
Twitter was so toxic.
Toxic.
For you.
Yeah, I'm so glad I got rid of Twitter.
For you especially.
Yeah.
Because you're very into kind of your world events and
yeah, it was
blah,
just
blah, blah,
too much.
But you would get real riled up by it.
But I'm actually kind of grateful for that because I actually think that's what got me to this place was I realized I was like, man, I'm just so upset about dumb shit and it doesn't matter, and the only reason it matters is because you see it all the time on your stupid phone.
Yeah.
But since I got rid of that, I've read, God, how many books have I read?
Oh my God, you've read so
I think I've read
many
8
books.
or 9 books since January. And I've now started a podcast where I'm on episode 12. And I've really enjoyed this. I've actually thought it's been super fun just the whole time.
I think it's really fun because it's something nice that I can do with you.
Yeah.
I know I don't do it as much as you, but it's fun when we do it together. And for me, it's like I haven't asked you once like how many listens we've got.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem I had with Instagram, is if I post something, I'm like counting the likes. I'm seeing how many people have viewed my story. And I'm like, for what? For what? Why am I doing that? So I don't even ask you how many listens we've got. This is just something fun that we can do, like you and me.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, to be honest with you, we've actually started to get it's all just people we know. That's the thing, is anyone that's listening to this is just people we know. And that's, I think, if you're just tuning in and starting to listen, because I'm going to be posting this to more and more people are actually asking, oh, you have it? I'm like, yeah, so I'll start posting it more. It's just for us. Like, if you're listening to this, you're obviously probably my friend or our friends.
Yeah.
And it's just for fun, and like it's nice to talk to people.
Yeah, you're like, what did Neve and Derek do in their spare time?
Yeah,
like,
we sit here and talk, drink wine. No, and like, yeah, it's just something different to do. And I said this in my little intro thing, but I strongly believe it. Like, I know a ton of really interesting people, and
thanks. I'm the most interesting, right?
I know a ton of really interesting people, and I don't know, like, it's just cool to be able to talk about yourself and even just like talk about things. Like, I've wanted to say that stuff about the AI because I've just thought that's so fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And it's just cool to be here talking about it.
Yeah.
And if Joey is the only guy that listens to it at work, cool. And if no one listens, cool. Or if everyone listens, I enjoy it, and I hope people do. I
think I enjoy it as well, is because with a lot of other social media, it's like you're putting your best self out there. And it's not like I'm always my best self, but it's like
Neve is also very modest.
it's like you're trying to put your best self out there, you know, this photo with this filter of you like enjoying the best time, and like that's not real. That's not what's actually going on. That's not how you actually feel. Whereas I think with this, we talk very authentically. Like, we're not kind of editing ourselves, we're not filtering ourselves. You know, you might say something that's gonna upset someone, but like, okay, cool. Like, you people who are listening to this know us and know who we are and our intentions. So I think that's what I like about it, is we just get to talk as us. And if people like it, cool. And if they don't, like, who cares? You know,
that's
matter.
What I laugh about is, like, I think if it's your first time coming on, it is weird talking into a mic, like recording this. I've got used to it now. This is episode 12, but like, it feels a little weird, especially when I'm talking for quite a bit. But then I'm like, no, wait, this is what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's a thing of like, especially because I want a lot of people to come on this. Like, I want all my friends, everyone I meet, I'm like, if you want to come on, and I think they're all joking, but I'm not going to lie. It's funny, the amount of people that have been like, no one's been like, fuck you, what the fuck? But people are like, what? Right?
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, they'll be like, oh, and then I'll go, you want to come on? They're like, wait, yeah, right.
but I don't, I don't know. I guess it's different. I've done a lot of performance in my time. But for me, even sitting with this mic in front of us, it still just feels like you and I having a conversation.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, we have the mic and we're definitely directing commentary towards people, but I still get, like, I'm not, like, shy about, like, ooh, microphone, you know?
Yeah. Well, no, I think that it's weird. You think in your head, you're like, oh, like, well, what if I say something and it like offends someone or something? Then I'm like, wait, all
Cancel.
3 of the people that are listening to it, and just for the record, I'm 2 of the 3 because I listen to it on 2 different devices.
We're gonna get canceled by our friends.
By the way, everybody, like and subscribe. I don't think there's a like, but spread the word. Comment on it, please. Everything helps get us views from randoms. That'll be weird is when you find out that you're like, oh, random, because I'll be like, who listened to this that doesn't know
Who
us?
this bitch?
What is wrong with you? Okay, on from the topic of just talking about podcasting as we're on a podcast.
Oh yeah.
Let me take a look at my list here.
Get your list out.
My list, because oh, my food's here.
Oh, you can't eat it. Sorry.
I can't eat it. But
that was one of the pod rules.
Guess who delivered it?
Who?
Poonam.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was almost our baby's name.
Okay, I had this one. First one.
You can't walk away.
I'll be back. Talk to me. The silence.
Do you want to hear this song that I made up for our daughter? It goes, she's Juliet, Marjorie Shirk. She's Juliet, Marjorie Shirk.
Oh shit, she's probably sleeping.
Yeah, I was like, please don't clap.
What?
And that's what I have to say about that.
Brought it upstairs.
Me and Derek always have this issue because we live on like the garden suite of a house. Whenever we get food delivery, they always deliver it upstairs to the main door. And it really upsets us. So there's an interesting thing for you to know. Also, we have bears around, so sometimes the bears eat the food before you can get to it. That's never actually happened, but I feel like it's something that could happen. But it hasn't yet. I'd be really upset if I did.
What did you say?
I don't know. I'm just trying to make conversation here with a microphone. So, whenever you're ready, you can just chime back in over here.
All right, I'm back. And I almost, as of not even 36 minutes after announcing no food on the pod, I ironically am starving and need food. But we'll stay true to the rules of the pod.
Well, we can pause the pod.
Yeah, we're going to take a break here. So I think what would be good right now is if you're a listener to the pod, I want you to pause and just think about what would you do if you were if you ruled the world.
If you were a
Dictator. I guess not everyone would be a dictator.
You need to eat some food.
All right, and we're back. Welcome to Friday Pancakes. Is that what it's called?
Pancake Friday.
Pancake Friday. Brought to you by Rain City Variety. So over the break, me and Neve were just talking about some upcoming segments we'd like to announce. Do you want to go?
So, I'm thinking of doing a segment. I thought about it and I want to do it. So, I'm doing a segment. And it's going to be called Neve's Takes. Neve's Takes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the Reddit advice column and give unsolicited advice publicly to the most recent poster on the Reddit advice column. I will be giving brutally blunt, honest opinions as if they were my friend, but you should also know that I'm that friend that's going to give tough love. So, yeah, it should be fun, I think. For me, anyway. Maybe not for the person who's looking for the advice. Because
Are you going to get it to them? Or are you going to at them in Reddit or something?
Yeah. I'll just post the pod in the comments and be like, here you go.
Yeah, it'd get us traction. I'm a... Uh-oh. Can you hear that?
I don't care.
Yeah, and he's got to go. Our little baby's crying. Sweet little baby girl.
Oh, poor Papa.
I'm actually doing Father's Day tomorrow because I'm away at a bachelor party for Father's Day, which some would argue is a Father's Day gift. Excuse me, but yeah, our poor little baby. She's doing her thing where she sleeps for a few hours and then wakes up crying, and Mom has to go. I don't know if you can hear. It's such a sad cry. It's such a sad cry. Okay, well, yeah, so I guess while Neve's gone, I'm going to tell you about my upcoming. This is going to be a weird pod to do. It's going to be book reviews. All the books are books I've read in the last last like 7 months here, whatever it is, since the new year, 6 months. But yeah, it's gonna be like my review of the book. So I'm not gonna lie to you. It, I'm not the most literate of readers. Like I sometimes have to read pages over, my mind wanders. I'm getting way better, so I actually can review books now. But they're gonna be a bit trashy reviews, especially my review of Dune Messiah, the second Dune book. That damn you, damn you, that book. You hurt me. I put so much love into the first Dune book to have the second Dune book ruin that so quickly. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that, but the problem with it is it's gonna be as fast as I read, and I don't read very fast. So I'll be hitting you for a few weeks, bam, book review, bam, book review, and then there's no more book reviews for a while. So it'll be like 8 quick ones, and then we're gonna have to wait a bit as I finish them. But I'm actually really excited to do that because I've got sweet books, and there's such a weird variety of books I've been reading that it'll just be fun to review those. All right, so I'm gonna tell you about a few other things that happened. My day was super long. I did my 12-hour day, which is always long ass. And then after work, oh my gosh, I had to go straight to this soccer game, and the soccer game was intense. All I can say is it was just intense. They were really good. The team I joined just won the Div 2 provincials, and it's their summer league team, so they're obviously really good. But there's definitely just it wasn't our team. Our team was really skilled, and they're chill dudes. I liked them. I was actually stoked on them. It was just more the other team was all Russian and Ukrainians, and I don't know. It's one of those things. Honestly, if you don't play soccer, you just don't understand. Like they're so fucking dirty, and they whine and they bitch, and they're like, I don't want to take it like they're like pussies, but some of them are. A lot of soccer players are pussies, but like just the style they play, they're always elbowing you and then diving and then whining. Like one of the guys, okay, just to give you an idea of this. This is summer league. This is for nothing. We're in the Div 1 summer league, so I guess we're like a better one, but we're playing this team, and their guy after the game, their goalie goes up to the ref and he's like yelling at him, and he's like, for so long, if kids watch this game, imagine a child's watching this game and you're calling things like that. What kind of example are you setting for a child? What kind of example is that to set for a child if he sees a ref making calls like that? And I'm like literally looking around, and no one's there. There's literally Neve and Juliet, and then their team and our team. That's it. There's literally no fans. And it's just, I don't know. I love soccer. I used to play high level soccer. I used to be with all those dudes. I would never tell the ref that he was letting children down, but I used to be like all up in that grill. And so I get it. It's just, it's so ridiculous as you get older and you look back and you're like, bro, like, what's wrong with you? You're in a summer league and you're going nuts like that. It's just so fucking bizarre. And anyone that plays soccer, I know for a fact, you know what I'm talking about when you just play these people where they're just such wackos and they're so like die hard, and the whole time you're like, it's amateur soccer. Like, chill the fuck out. Yeah, but it was fun. I ended up playing left back because we only had 12 guys, and that's part of the reason I ripped out from work was because they only had 12 guys. But yeah, it was fun. I'm looking forward. I played left back. I'm probably gonna slot into the midfield once things get going, which will be cool. Baby's all good?
Yeah, she's super cute.
Good. Yeah, our baby is really freaking cute. Excuse me. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Hey, Nui.
Did you talk about your book club?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Yeah, and the other one, like, I want to get better at interviewing people. Like that's one thing that I actually set out to do with this, because I've always thought that like, you know, like Channel 5 News, the like all gas no brakes
Yeah.
guy. I've always thought that was really cool what he did. I don't want to, I wouldn't want to be a journalist, like full on journalist, but I always thought it would be cool to sit down and like interview people, and in this, but more so in this sense than actually like
Yeah.
out on the street, hands on, boots on the ground kind of thing. So that's the other thing I'd like to do, and I actually, the the thing is, me and Dax together is a really good riff. Like we're a good together as well. So it's kind of hard because as much as I'd like to do it alone with people, I also think it's better to do it like me and Dax there, and we have the 3-person circle. So it's like for example, Fakra.
Three persons a triangle.
Yeah. That's the point. That's still a working title. I don't know if we're keeping that, but
Oh,
like,
that's the title of it?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I thought you were just getting your shapes wrong.
No. uh, but like, yeah, like for example, I messaged Fakra and I was like, "Yo, Fakra, I'd love if you came on the pod and talked about fighting." And then I'm like, instantly, I'm like, no, that podcast is just better with Dax there. Like,
Yeah.
like I would be 100 times better, and pretty much across the board, anytime I think of doing one where I'm interviewing, it's better with Dax there, because it's just more entertaining when everyone's talking and you have like that, and like Dax has a different opinion versus me versus who we're talking to.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that one. It's just kind of finding people, and like, I guess if you want to come on and have a solo interview, just let me know. We can hook that up too. It's more just about yeah. Anyhow, I feel like we should probably just wrap it up here at this point. I'm just kind of rambling on. Yeah, I guess all I'll say is happy Friday to everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Comment and answer some poll questions at the end there. Subscribe for sure. Spread the word. Share the pod. We are doing a in-depth hockey analysis, of review of the Canucks season / what we're going to need looking forward, and we're probably going to revisit that again right before the Canucks season starts in some point in the preseason. So we have our 2 analysts, Connor and Gabe, back on, both very informative, and then Dax, my co-host, will also have some good information. As you guys know, I'm more of a vibes guy than a true analyst of the sport of hockey. Anyhow, look forward to that coming out on Monday. Happy Friday, everyone, and take care.